Okay, hello traders and welcome to our market update video. It's Stu Napan here, founder of Master the Markets Trades Conference and the Traders Open Day. So today we are actually on the dollar Swiss trade, just a little bit up on 283 pounds over here at Master the Markets in terms of our cash in 4.0 strategy. Right, so let's take a look in terms of a topic, and then we'll go on into today's analysis and then into our performance for the week as well. So let's take a look now. First topic for today, I'm going to be looking at open equity. Okay, very, very important topic. In fact, most educational companies or retail traders won't even understand what open equity is. I wouldn't even have heard of the term. Very vastly used by institutional traders actually. Okay, so what is open equity? It's very important because once you've understood this and how to apply it, your whole trading methodology will start to change, your confidence will start to increase, and you will start to see your performance getting better. Right, so what is open equity? So that's the first thing that I need to cover. There's an exact formula for open equity. Most of our elite traders will know the formula, which is point of entry to maximum point reached. Okay, maximum point reached. Now, let me tell you what that means. Now, first of all, to get this quantified, yes, you need your bottoms and your tops quantified. That's the first thing. Okay, I'm not going to go too much in detail on that. I've mentioned it a lot in the previous videos, so go and check our blog center. Now, first of all, you do have from the bottom to the top, you got the distance. Now, that is not what we are talking about here in open equity strict definition. We're talking on point of entry. So for example, just like in the cash in strategy, right? So in the cash in strategy, we actually enter when the bottom is confirmed. When the bottom is confirmed. Right. So imagine we're entering on the close. That's one way we can enter once the bottom is confirmed, once the confirmation bar confirms that low. Once we enter on that, now what is the maximum point reached then of that particular trade? So let's see. Over here, that would be 454 pips. So that's how you calculate open equity. Okay. Now, how do we then collate this data? So now, let me show you a very simple example on how we can do this. I've done a separate chart over here. So over here, if you can take a look, this is what I've done based on this formula. So you can see wherever the dot is coming in, right, is when the bottom has got confirmed. Okay, so in terms of that, so from the close here is where we're entering, right? Remember the first part of the equation, point of entry, and then maximum point reached is what? Maximum point reached is this bottom here, isn't it? That is 86 pips. Okay, 86 pips over here. That's what I've written, right? Roughly 87 pips. Then from here, look, from this close here to the top, how much is that? That's 21 pips. From this close all the way to the bottom low, that's how much? That is 95 pips. Now, traders, as I've mentioned already, the most important thing here for you to get this quantified validated stats is that you must quantify the tops and the bottoms, which is already done by a bespoke indicator, which has been inspired by the hedge fund traders and our mentor who has taught us this. Okay, without this, it's very difficult. But if you got your own way of doing it, do it. But whatever it is, get that tops and bottoms quantified. Right. So just like that, you see you got a very strong stretch or open equity over here all the way to the bottom. That's why I'm saying 222 pips. Okay, that's good. So that's how you collate the data in the exact pips or points. Next is I've converted that into ATR. Now ATR of what? ATR of just this bar. I've just taken the ATR of that bar, 36 pips. So all I've done is 222 divided by 36. I've got 6.16 ATR, and I've done that throughout consistently. Now, once you have done that, now one way that you can quantify that and collect the data, let me just show you how we have done that, is first I've done it in terms of just pips. Okay, so I've just done like 10 pips, 20 pips, 30 pips, 40 pips. I've just done in 10 pip increments. You can see total there's 13 swings altogether. So if you take a look, I've just added all of them up between the top to the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've done that all, and I've got 13 altogether. I've not included this in because it's not, top is not confirmed yet. So far it's 231, but that's not inside the data. So altogether there's 13 of them in this small sample of 2020 beginning of this year. Now out of that, how many of them went more than 10 pips? We can see immediately there's only one of them that hasn't. Other than that, most of them have, right? So that's why on this journal here, you can see 12 of them have done, except for that one which only did 2 pips, right? So 12 out of 13, that's 92% of them get there. Then 20 pips, how many got there? 30, 40, so far, so on. So you can see 20 pips is straight on forward after that. You can see 20 pips, all of them have done more than 20 pips, except this one, of course, we already excluded that. Anything else that isn't done? Yep, so the number would be the same, is it not? So therefore, over here, you've got 12 again standing. After that, when it gets to 30, 40, 50, it still sustains. When it gets to 10, then it starts to drop by 1. 70, it starts to maintain. And then 9, 80, it still maintains. Where is the biggest drop then? At 100 pips. So it still maintains up to here 70%. Maybe this is a good point for you all to start at. So most of them make 80 pips from point of entry. Okay, 70% of them do 80 pips is what we are looking at. Okay, right. So that's the how you collate the data. Now you can also use different measurements, which is what I've done at the bottom too. You can see I've done it ATR as well. When you do it in ATR, you can easily see that from 13 immediately it drops to 10 for 1 ATR. Okay, 1 point, I've done it in a bit small increment just to see where it drops off from. In fact, for 1.25, it still maintains 70%. From that point onwards, it starts to drop from 60, 50, 20, 23. Look, 3 ATR from your point of entry, only 23% of them really get there. Okay, so good. So this is just the start. This is how you collate it, and then from then on, then you need to put in your trailing stop loss rules and target rules to begin off the your analysis on how your strategy performs. Okay, this will be a very good starting point for you. Okay, good. So that is open equity, how you collect the data, how do you apply it? Finally, of course, as I mentioned, the application of this. If you know that 70% of your trades at least travel 80 pips, okay? 80 pips from your point of entry, okay? Now, imagine if you entered on that particular trade. So, for example, here, right? So, if you entered over here, all right, or from here, 80 pips onwards, then that's it. You come out of the particular trade, okay? Because you know that 70% of them will get to 80 pips. That's what we are looking at. Now, provided you do not trail your stop, isn't it? You will get 70%. But if you do trail your stop, you got to also see how much it deviates from 70% with including your trailing stop loss factor. Okay, of course you do not want that to be massively reduced as long as the profit factor is there, and that's what you got to see the sweet spot between your TSL and your exit. And also do remember to include some parameters for the future as well, and not just on history as well, okay, for sustainability purposes. Okay, so I guess I will let you guys do the rest of the work. You can do something similar on every chart, and also you can program this too with the help of programmers. and then you can get that. So very soon we'll be giving all this data out to all our members as well. So this will be very critical for all of you. Good. So that's to do with that. In terms of our market update, so how can we use all this kind of data for forward trading? You can see over here, right? So for example, this is where we entered together collectively in master the markets over here on the dollar Swiss trade. You see, if I know, if you just refer to this one here, if I know that 70% of them will get to 80 pips, but that's just for euro dollar, right? We got to check it for dollar Swiss as well. If you do know that 70% of them get to 80 pips, then you know where to set your target, is it not, traders? Okay, maybe for dollar Swiss it might be a bit different, so you need to test it and measure it as well. Very critical data that will help you massively. Okay, good. So that's to do with that. In terms of a quick analysis of the market, you can see over here that dollar Swiss just broke out of its consolidation, carrying on in its downward trend. Dollar yen still has reversed back totally over here, still isn't keeping in this range over here, okay, of this consolidation point over there, as you can see. Cable, on the other hand, has taken out this bar's high, still in its upward bottom to top move over here in a downtrend. Euro dollar, you can see that still very strong trend here, bottom to top, uptrend. Aussie still carrying on with his upward move, still seeing a lot of weakness here, highly probably stops being taken out, good reversal point probably occurring. If this flags up, no money bar strategy will be taking this to go further. Shorten this and for that to become high. Okay, money bars, we look at maximum stops being taken out, and you can see there are good signs over there. Next, euro yen, still carrying on very strongly. Nice open equity uptrend over here. A nice move on the upside, strong move. Open equity, of course, probably diminishing as we carry on. Bitcoin, still in a market compression at the moment. FTSE uptrend. Dow Jones, a bit of weakness over here. Still on the downside. Gold still on the rise, still in this um, price level of 1,734. Soya beans up as well. Brent still hovering around $35 around this level here. Cocoa up on the upside. Silver still strong up move at the moment. 1783 is what we are getting. And then finally, euro dollar. This is a repeat. This is what I did for the open equity data collation. That's on the market update front. In terms of our performance for this week, in terms of the elite room, what do we have? Smart money, open equity runners, we have minus 1.76. A little bit of a loss over here. Percent is what we got. And in terms of our LTR room, a little bit further drawdown this week, what we got. In terms of our lift-off strategy, we've got actually minus 0.85 on Euro Yen. And in terms of cash in 4.0, what we got is minus 3.05, something to be reviewed on actually. So altogether, minus 3.9 from LTR room. So altogether what we got is 5.66%. Okay, minus 5.66% is what we got for this week. Something that we do need to revisit in terms of the cash in terms of inserting this open equity data into here to make it a bit more smoother, which we'll definitely achieve very soon. Okay, I guess that's pretty much that from me on this video over here, traders. So definitely revisit the open equity data and how you collect it, how you apply it. Very important. Okay, and I just want to say as true professionals, always, follow your plan consistently, know what your edge in the market is, and keep monitoring your stats and see uh, how your strategies are performing and when also they need to be stopped and when they need to be tweaked as well. That's how professionals are, and that's how professionals keep their edge in the market for consistent peak performance. All right, that's all from me for now. And as we always say, till next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.